I love PageBound. Like, I'm a Goodreads girly. I have been a Goodreads girly since 2011. And I still use Goodreads, but PageBound is it. I love PageBound. And I love the badge system they have, where you can read different books that correlate to a specific badge in their quests. But I haven't yet actively like correlated, no, what is the word I'm thinking of? Collected? Curated, that's the word. I haven't actively curated a reading list for myself in order to finish these badges. So I thought I'd start doing like a little vlog series where I take a badge and I read so many books to get to the next level of said badge. And we'll see how far I get into that. But this is the first of said collection of vlogs. Will it be the only one? Perhaps. We'll see how I end up going, because some of these badges require a lot of books and I don't want to do like 10 books per badge, but I'm going to try to do like the badges that I only have a couple, like up to 5, I think, books to the next level, and just see how everything goes. It is currently the end of May as I'm recording this. I don't know when it's going to go up. I am very behind on like everything, more so than I anticipated. Like it's just wrenches being thrown at me left and right. So things are happening. I'm trying to get things out. It's the end of May. Summer is creeping up. I want to do something creepy for summer. You know, like the summerween thing. I don't think I've ever actually participated in Summerween. I've read like creepy things during summer, but I don't think I've ever participated in Summerween. But I like the vibes of reading creepy things during summer. So to go along with that, I'm going to do the Bloodsuckers badge because I only need 3 in order to get to the next level, which is platinum. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone while I'm talking about it so I can show you what I'm doing. Where should I stand here? Yeah, I think that's good. And then I'll put it like right here. Yeah. I've got 17 read. I need to read 20 to get to platinum. And I've read quite a few. Okay. I've heard iffy things about Immortal Dark, so I don't think I want to do that one for this. I need 3 books. Ooh, I think I've heard of Blood Orange. I like that cover. I really like that cover. Am I going to go for vibes or am I going to go for things that I've heard of? Or am I going to just go for covers? Because I am a cover buy kind of person. In a bad way. Bride is not my kind of fiction, so we won't be going for that. Fangs, though, and I like that cover too. I've heard of Salem's Lot. I don't think I'm going to read that for this though. That's a very long book, if I remember right. Yeah, 528 pages. We're not gonna do that for this one. Maybe one day, but not today. The Awakening is also probably not my kind of story. I've heard of Silver Under Nightfall before. Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil is a book that I'm going to be reading with my friend at some point, so I'm not going to include it in this. I'm pretty sure I DNF'd that. No, I DNF'd this under a different title. I don't think that was before I had PageBound though, I think. I don't think I have it. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, so I actually DNF'd this. I got pretty far into it too, but I wasn't vibing. I don't think I finished that. I didn't like it. The Historian I've heard of. I actually didn't know that was related to vampires, so Woman Eating is one I really want to read. The website's been a little slow today. I think it's because they just did an update. So that's an option. Fledgling I also want to read at some point. Ooh, what is The Brides? What is that cover? Ooh, I really like that cover. That's kind of terrifying. I like that. Okay, 3. I have to pick 3. Okay, I think I'm going to do, and if I DNF any of these, I'll just circle back and pick a different one. I don't know, do DNFs count towards this badge? I'm not sure about that one. If I DNF something and it doesn't count towards the badge, I'll pick something else. But I'm going to go with Blood Orange by Karina, Halle, Woman Eating by Claire Kohda, and The Brides by Charlotte Cross. And this might end up being like a really little short vlog, but I want to get like a feel for how this is going to go. Now I just have to figure out where to get all of those because I didn't pre-plan this at all. So I just found out The Brides is not coming out until the end of July. Instead, I think I'm going to try Fangs, but I will keep the other one on the radar because I really like that cover. I gotta pay more attention to like publishing dates instead of, jumping in head first and hoping I can swim. So it turns out Fangs is a graphic novel, and I don't track my graphic novel reads anymore. So that's off the table. However, I did manage to put a hold on a copy of Fledgling at the library, so I just have to go pick that up at some point. Clearly I didn't read anything about any of these before picking them. I just went by, ooh, that's a nice cover. Ooh, those are vibes I want, and went with it. And now we're in this pickle. And by we, I mean me. But I also did get both a physical and a digital copy of Blood Orange, so I'm going to start with that one. And by that, I mean I'm going to go do my laundry and listen to the audiobook. So at this point, I'm about 40% of the way into Blood Orange, and it's taking all of my I don't know boxes, but I can't stop reading it. And by reading it, I mean listening to it, but like something about the way it's written is really hooking me. It's not the plot. I love reincarnation, so maybe it is getting me with the plot, but we're not really like into the plot as much as I would like to. Harley just started eating some food, so if you hear cat crunching in the background, she's eating her snack. Oh, it's probably not, it might be the plot, but I'm not sure about the plot on that one. It is interesting. I would like more of the plot because I would really like to know how this is all going to intertwine with each other. Dahlia's background and what is his name? What is his name? Dracula. It's Val too. I don't know why that didn't stay in my head. I hate student-teacher relationship tropes. However, she's not really, I mean, she is his student, but she's not, there's not like a power imbalance exactly because she doesn't care about her grades. So his involvement with her isn't reliant on like, he can't lose his job because he's going to be able to manipulate the staff into like ignoring it. She doesn't care about her grades, so she's not like using him to get her grades better, or if something bad happens, she doesn't have to worry about her grades. The power imbalance isn't quite there. She's there to kill him. He is Dracula. That's essentially the story so far. She's a witch and a slayer. She's enrolling in this school in Venice where Dracula, aka Valtu, is a professor, so she can kill him because she kills vampires. She's there to seduce him and then kill him. You first start off the book though with Dracula saying that Bram Stoker is going to get the story wrong, so he's writing out how it really went. Mina was his lover. He didn't know he was a vampire because the type of vampirism in this book doesn't activate until you're 35. Although that's something I don't like is I just got to the part where they mentioned that women turn into vampires at 21 and then men are 35. I don't like that. Why is there such an age discrepancy, and why are the men older? I don't like that. It's giving women can only look good if they're a certain age. Mina gets killed by her father because she's pregnant with Dracula's child. I keep calling him Dracula. I should be calling him Valtu's child. At the exact same time, he goes through like his transformation to become a vampire. And then you open up with Dahlia, who is our main female character, waking up from a nightmare where she's basically reenacting exactly what's happening to Mina, because it's basically hinted at, it could be wrong, but it could be a red herring, but it's hinted at she's the reincarnation of Mina, and then everyone else that Mina is going to become until she reaches Dahlia. Neither of them seem to have realized this yet though, even though we're halfway through the book, which is kind of surprising. Valtu's okay, I don't really care about him. He's very much a bad guy, but like there's depth to him. Dahlia was okay until this, what chapter am I on? I'm on chapter 10. And she was tolerable up until this chapter, and now she's just like spilling about how she had the worst childhood. Nobody liked her. She doesn't know. I mean, maybe it'll explain why nobody liked her, but like she's just going on and on about, oh, nobody liked me. Even my teachers hated me. I would call people to go to birthday parties, and they'd be like, no. It's like, okay. But I think things are about to go down because we're almost at the halfway point. And they're actually speaking to each other for the first time. I mean, they've had conversations before, but like this is the first time they're properly speaking to each other. Also, her parents are dead. It wouldn't be a vampire story if something was wrong with the parents. If something wasn't wrong with the parents. But despite all that, I can't put this down. I started it today and I'm almost halfway through it. And I haven't been driving today. Like I didn't go out driving today, which is usually when I get my audiobook hours done. I just can't put it down. And I think the ending is going to be the key part to what this ends up getting rated as. Never mind. I got to the end of chapter 10 and I'm over it. We'll see if it hooks me again. But for the second, she said, choose me, and I went, oh, Meredith. Okay, I just finished working out, so excuse the fact I look dead inside. I also finished Blood Orange, and Blood Orange did make me regret a little bit going into these without looking up literally anything. I don't mind smut. I read smut all the time. It never rates well with me, usually. I think there's like one that I actually have given 4 stars, but in general, it's usually like a middle ground, not great time for me. I just, I want to see what everyone else is reading, so like sometimes I'll read it too. I didn't know Blood Orange was a Dracula retelling, but just extremely smutty. That said, I did give it 2 stars. One of those stars was for the plot, as little as there was, because it was interesting, but it would have been a 3-star if we had actually gotten like a little bit of closure. I mean, we both did and didn't get closure on certain things. I felt like the twist is way too obvious, which I guess was, I mean, it's not about the twist. It's not really about the storyline. The storyline's there, but it's more about Dracula and Dahlia and their relationship. Oh, and I was there for other things. So that's my bad. And then also 1 star because I read the audiobook. And the narrator for Vault 2 uses the accent the entire time. So I'm just reading, the entire thing is just in the Dracula voice, and it was amazing. Chef's kiss. That said, it did really make me want to read Vampire Diaries. Not read. Did I say read? I mean watch. I want to read Vampire Diaries too, because I've never actually read all of them. I stopped at the ones that were starting to be ghost written. So I need to go back and read all of those at some point, and maybe also reread the first couple, because I've already forgotten what the plot is so different from the TV show that I've forgotten what's going on. But I want to watch the TV show. But anyway, 2 stars for Blood Orange. I don't know where I put it, but I did get a physical copy of Fledgling. But next, I think I'm going to read Woman Eating. And again, don't know what this is about. Purposefully just kind of going into it blind. Maybe not my best idea. From what I understand, it's like sad girl fiction, but the sad girl is a vampire. And she has like an obsession with food because she can't eat it, I think, which would make sense because, vampires typically don't eat food, they just drink blood. She wants to be able to eat food, so she like romanticizes eating food. I'll get back to you when I actually know what I'm reading. I'm about 40% of the way into Woman Eating now, and yeah, it is sad girl but vampire. Our main character, Lydia, who prefers to go by Lyd, was bitten as a baby by her mother, and when you turn into a vampire, you like hit a certain age and then you stop aging. So she was able to grow up as a vampire until she hit some age. I don't think they said exactly what age, but she hit that age, she stopped aging. That's how it works. Her mother says she bit her as a baby because she was dying, but Lyd doesn't quite believe that. Her mother's very like textbook narcissist as far as from what Lyd is telling us about her. So far, the only interaction we really have with the mother is she's in a nursing home with Alzheimer's. Basically just keeps stating like, my daughter died when she was a baby, and it was just a very strange interaction. That's the only interaction we've had so far. Maybe there'll be another one, but from what Lyd is saying, growing up, her mother was just like horrible. They could only eat pig's blood because pigs were, she thought, like dirty, disgusting creatures, and they didn't deserve anything except like the lowest of the low blood. Lyd at one point does explain that like pigs are not disgusting or dirty or anything like that. And her mother's like, no, I don't believe you. We are having pig blood and only pig blood. So that's how Lydia grew up. But essentially it's just like Lyd is an artist who's trying to find her foot back in the door. She's worked on things before, but she's kind of like going through life trying to work for a gallery and learn how to have her own gallery, figure out how to get blood without her mother, who had like a deal with a butcher at one point to get blood. She doesn't have that deal anymore because she doesn't live there. And I'm not really expecting it to be anything but that. So if anything changes, we'll see. But so far it's just kind of like one of those books. I redid my shelves. I decided I wanted to put what was previously my red shelf. These were my TBR shelves. These are my red shelves. I wanted to integrate the books from my red shelves that I wanted to reread into the chaos of my TBR shelf. So I went through and figured out which ones I wanted to reread, slotted them in here, and now I have to make the little stars for my bubblegum machine and then give it a good shake. And while I was putting all my trinkets back up, I finished Woman Eating. And to the end, it really was just sad girl vampire vibes. The ending, it was originally going to be like a 2-star, but I gave it an extra 0.5 for the ending because while I wasn't gripped by the ending, I did enjoy the way it ended up going. It would have been a 3, but there's a spoiler alert. While my hand is up, the spoiler is coming out of my mouth. When I put my hand down, you'll be good. There's cheating involved. There's a cheating trope, and I hate the cheating trope. So 0.5 docked for that. We're good now. Next on the agenda is Fledgling. Again, don't know anything about this. It's vampires. I've been wanting to read more Octavia Butler because I read, was it last year I read Kindred? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that at my friend's wedding, actually. And I wanted to read more from Octavia Butler, and this was on the list, so I figured, why not? I literally know nothing about this. Shori is a 53-year-old vampire genetically modified to walk in the light of the day, who looks like a young girl, apparently a young amnesiac girl. Amnesiac. Am I saying that right? Amnesiac. The only survivor of a vicious attack on her community with no memory of her past life, Shori must now struggle to rebuild her family and learn who would want and still wants to destroy her. Oh, okay. Well, that actually sounds great. It sounds like my kind of book. Okay, cool. Great. On another unrelated, completely indulgent to me note, I got Pokemon cards, so we're gonna rip them. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but sometime last year I got back into Pokemon card collecting. I don't know what's happened in the past. I think it's been, okay. I stopped collecting Pokemon cards shortly after I got out of high school. So like 2012, give or take. I mean, I would get cards once in a while, but like I was an avid collector in high school. So I stopped around then. And I don't remember it being this hard to get cards. What happened? My main collection is, I'm aiming for right now because it's so hard to get cards, are cards with books on them, naturally. And then Pokemon I would have on my team if I was a trainer, which is Vulpix, Alolan Vulpix, Whimsicott, Espeon, Altaria, Mismagius. That's the other one I was missing. And I don't actually know if these versions have anything like that in them, but I'm also just, you know, pulling for the fun of it. And also if I come across a cute card on the way, I'm also going to keep it. And then I also, for when I do go to a card show, because I do plan to one of these days, I printed out a bunch of really badly done proxies. That's upside down. One day, it's like the dream. Like I've got Aroma Lady, Duskull. So I've just got like cute ones. The main goal is books and my team, but like I've got other cute ones in here that I would like to get. And then finally, my friend is trying to collect every Ludicolo card there is. He hasn't started yet. I can't remember if one of these has a Ludicolo card option in it. Anyway, we're just gonna see what we get. So let me get a pair of scissors. And I've only seen like a couple videos on how people pull these. So I'm probably going to do it wrong. Whatever. Oh, that's a different card cover than this one because Clefable was on the front. Then we've also got Gengar on the front of this one. All right, I'm gonna start with Gengar. All right, sorry if the angle changed. I had to unload some memory because I ran out. So I didn't pull anything yet though. So we'll just see what I end up getting. Can I focus that? Is that focused enough? I don't know. Sure. Okay. Oh, they're upside down. Got this one. Okay. By Bravo. I didn't know they still made 3rd gen Pokemon cards. Seal. Oddish. That's a cute one. What are you? Oh, you're from... So Gen 5? The grasshopper bug Pokemon that I can't remember the name of. Glysaur. Ooh, a Pomo. That's a cute Pomo. A Lanoon. Huh. I didn't know they were still making cards for 3rd gen. Like that. Flagon. And back to the round mouse one whose name I can never say. Togedemaru. Yay! Okay, so I've got some cute ones there. And then another card I can turn into a proxy. And then let's do this bad boy. Okay, I dropped these a little bit, so if they're out of order, my bad. Got the energy. Oh, upside down. Oh, another upside down. Ooh. I noticed hollows are very common now. Oh, what are you? Mega Skarmory. That's cool. I noticed there are so many hollows in these now. Like that, I thought they were supposed to be rarer than that. Oh, a Nosepass. I don't think I've ever said it here, but 3rd gen is my favorite Pokemon generation. Snivy. Scropey. And Rosa's Encouragement. Cool. Okay. So I got about 5% of the way into Fledgling. And by the man's words, there's a man in here who picks her up. By the man's words, she looks 10 or 11, I think is what he said. So why is he trying to sleep with her? I know she's a vampire. I know there's probably some compelling happening here, but I looked it up and that doesn't change. He continues to pursue her and sleep with her, and she's not technically 10, but she looks 10 while all this is happening. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to knuckle through this. I might have to give it up. I should have just DNF'd this. At no point of reading this was I having a good time. and I gave it 1 star at the end because I was just having such a bad time. Why didn't I DNF it? Partially because it's a murder mystery and I wanted to see what happened. There was an amnesia element and I thought, well, surely at the end something conclusive has to happen that like ties back to the start of everything. And in a way that kind of did happen, but it wasn't satisfying for me in any sense of the word. I just had such a bad time. And then there's elements in here that I really didn't like. For example, she literally looks 10 and she has all these adults around her interested in her. And the other reason I didn't want to DNF is because I didn't really feel like getting into another book for the badge. I just figured I'd push through this and get it over with. And at least I thought it would at least be a 2-star by the end. I thought maybe there would be something in there for me to go like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't. It wasn't that long ago that I read Kindred, but like the difference in writing between this and Kindred is like a little jarring. I'm gonna have to look more into like what other people are saying about this because maybe it's just me, but this read a lot like, you know, those stories that tend to come out nowadays where it's like she was like perfect and she knew how to do everything right. Even if she couldn't remember how to do it right, eventually she just knew. She was like born for this. It felt a lot like this. And yes, she's black. She's a vampire. They're called Ina. She's black so she can withstand the sun better. All in all, she's like an experiment, and it proves that darker skinned vampires, it makes more sense. They live better in the sun. It just makes more sense for a vampire to have darker skin. That does make sense. She was an experiment towards that, and she's like, I don't know if she's the only black vampire. She might be the only black vampire. That's why she's the experiment. Although they don't, in this world, Ina are like a completely separate species to human. And in order to get a black Ina, they had to integrate human DNA. But then they've been around for such a long time that this is the first time they thought about using darker skin as a way to get around the whole sun issue. Anyway, all in all, this was not it. I do still want to read, I always say it right, Parable of the Sower. I do still want to read that, but I think if that doesn't do well for me, I'm just done with Octavia Butler. I just realized the camera's shaking because my cat is literally leaning up against it, cleaning her paw. Oh, we're going for the toes now. I hope it's not picking up the audio. That's gross. She's really munching. But that does mean I did finish the challenge, and now I have a platinum in Bloodsuckers on PageBound. So, you know, goal achieved. I had to suffer through this, but goal achieved. And I think I will be doing more of these because it was kind of fun to have like a badge like goal to read towards. I just have to figure out what one I want to do next. There's gonna be a little bit of break between this and the next time I do it, because I've got other things I want to like slot into, and I got to get my summer project out of the way before summer ends. It did just start, but still, I'm a little slow with some things. But I think I'm going to do this more. In the end for this one, I got a 2-star, a 1-star, and a 2.5 star. That's not a great, but I'll still do it again. I'll just take them as they come. But that's the end of this one. I have to get started on my next reading vlog, and I don't know, I'm probably gonna be uploading things out of order. So if I look different in the vlog that follows this one, it's because I'm backtracking. Anyway, I'll be back with something else at some point, and we will do this again. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.